This is episode 27 of the Remix Your World podcast with David Tort. Welcome to Remix Your World. I'm Allison Kalagna, global DJ and music producer turned life remixer and personal growth coach. In each episode, we bring you real talk, inspiring stories, and heartfelt conversations of personal transformation to help you uplift and amplify your life. This is the Remix Your World podcast. DJ producer David Tort is one of the most influential Spanish artists in the global electronic music scene. His success is the product of both his distinctive studio work and his in-demand DJ sets all around the world. Both sides have made him a household name in modern club culture. David has been brewing his studio sound for over 15 years, cultivating a unique and diverse musical personality understood by both clubbers and industry alike. His discography includes remixes for Tiesto and Nelly Furtado, David Guetta, Bob Sinclair, and his original productions like Dizzy, Raveline, Lost in Acid, Jack It Up, One Look, or the cover of Chase the Sun with Norman Duray, which reached number 2 on the Beatport's main chart for 3 weeks in a row. In 2014, he continued the pace with original productions dropping on CR2, Size 03, and Spinnin', including collaborations with Roland Clark, Nick Marsh, and Abel Ramos. Getting Heavy with Abel Ramos has logged over 3 million views on YouTube since release and reached number 8 in the Beatport Progressive House chart. In 2015, David released music with who's who of dance labels including Dorn, Musical Freedom, X Flamingo, and 03, in addition to launching his own label, HotL Records. The label's third release revisited Tort's acid roots with a re-releasing of his classic Lost in Acid, featuring remixes from Abel Ramos, Henrix and Digital Lab, DJ Mara and Sebastian Ledier, and DJ Dias. 2016 showed no signs of slowing down with an early single release with Robbie Rivera, several HotL releases, and work with house music legend Marshall Jefferson. David's HotL mix of Cal's EBL, along with Markham, has made waves since release, seeing widespread support from Sander Van Doorn, Sonnery James and Ryan Marciano, Promised Land, and Fetty Legrand, who took the track to the main stage at Tomorrowland. In 2017, David's collaboration Strangers with Markham, Yes Cabeda, and El Leponte has made waves via Tiesto's After Hours soundtrack, Miami's WMC, as one of the top buzz tracks and remaining a mainstay on the Beatport 100 and sets worldwide for months after the release. Without having to follow any fashion or trend, David's productions are always undeniably relevant. As important as his studio work are his live gigs, from his residency at his second home, Space Miami, to Summerland, Tomorrowland, and Summerburst festivals. David's marathon sessions never disappoint. He's played parties for DJ megastars Swedish House Mafia, Avicii, and Tiesto, and is the only Spanish DJ to perform the Playboy Mansion in Beverly Hills. He's also a staple performer at the annual Winter Music Conference in Miami, where in 2014 his closeout blowout show at world-renowned Nikki Beach featured a packed lineup including Max Vangeli, Phoenix Powell, and Norman Duray. Bringing his signature sound to the live arena, David Tort's set are always packed with driving beats, powerful bass lines, and destructive drops. On the back of a busy 2015, in 2016, Tort reaffirmed his position as one of dance music's most respected figures. Amidst constant club appearances around the world from India to Brazil, Tort has made appearances at Sweden's Bravalla Festival, Aruba's Love Festival, and launched his label parties around the world with HotL Miami, Tampa, Barcelona, Amsterdam, and Cartagena.
Yo, check this out.
So just a heads up, you're going to hear me talk a lot about meditation, about goals, and about self-development and improvement on this podcast. It is the vision and mission of this show. I want to live in a world where people are not afraid to be themselves creatively, authentically, and just show up being the best, most epic remix of themselves ever. If you're interested in joining me on an 8-week personal development course called CIJ, you can head over to remixyourworld.com/CIJ, and you and I can get to work and make this year your most epic year yet. My next class is Thursday nights, starting March 21st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I would love to see what you do in this class. If you're interested and you're ready to make a big ass shift and a big change and remix the fuck out of yourself, then come on, baby. I got you. Remixyourworld.com/CIJ. See you in class.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh yeah! So welcome. We're just gonna have a conversation. I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm so excited that you're here because I just love your work. I mean, I've been playing your stuff for so long, so it's nice to actually have a conversation with you, talk to you about music and life and all of that good stuff. So welcome. I'm happy you're here.
Thank you. I mean, thank you for the words. I'm happy that you like the music. You know, you make music. I mean, I make music or somebody makes it, and you never know where's that going, you know? So you don't know who's hearing you. So
yeah. I mean, I've played so many of your records. You know what? I actually pulled out one of your older ones this week. I mean, like I played a bunch of your new stuff too this weekend in Dallas, but I pulled out, remember that remix you did of Unleash Yourself?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. I pulled that out and I played that this week because my event is called Release, and like I just love that whole thing, and part of my slogan is helping people unleash themselves. And I was like, there's a song that I can remember this person saying unleash yourself, and it took me forever to figure out what it was again. But then like I was like, I think that's what it was, unleash yourself or something.
Yeah. That's it's actually an original, but I think I made like 2-3 versions, and it was I just opened a label that time was called the Mansion Recordings, and I think that was the second or the third release. So you see, I wasn't expecting that one. I was expecting like Lost in Acid or something like that, but you know. There's records I don't even remember about it till somebody tells me, hey, you know that?
Yeah, so that was an original. Okay, yeah. I love the vocal in that, and I love all of that. So, yeah.
That I recorded that in LA when I was in the studio making Work It Out. And in the second room, there were 2 guys making hip hop, and I was like, hey, could you do something for me? He was like, yeah. And he just grabbed the mic and dropped some vocals, and I made the song. So.
Oh yeah, no, I love that track. Because I love what it stands for. I love what it's saying. So I love it's timeless too. It still sounded so good, and it was sexy, and so yeah, I think that's really awesome when you can play a track that's older like that and it still really works. So
I'm super happy to hear that. Actually, I mean, it's not that I'm trying to make timeless music, but it just happened. Mm-hmm. Not always happens, you know, but it's like, I don't know, I figured it out not so long ago. Sorry for my English, but I'm like,
it's okay.
I mean, especially if I'm in the States, I'm talking English all the time, but I'm in Barcelona now, so it's difficult because we speak 2 languages here, which is Spanish and Catalan, and then English. Like my brain is a little bit confused at the moment. Sorry.
It's totally okay. You're welcome. It's all good.
Okay, cool. So that's what I was telling you. Like, for example, Lost in Acid, I made it 11 years ago,
wow.
And I stopped playing it for a while, like for 2-3 years, but then now I'm playing it again, and it's like it sounds like I just made it, you know. So I don't know how I did that, but it happens so often with me. So it's like I just go to the studio and do whatever I feel, and I think it's that I don't care about what's out there. I just put my feelings on a song. That's it.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, that's so important. Now, did you grow up pretty musical?
You mean when I was a kid?
When you were a kid, yeah.
Not really. I mean, my brother, he's 9 years older, so he gave me I don't know how to call it, sorry, but it's like a portable phono player, which is like a, I don't know how to say. Oh my God, it's like. Well, that's super old that you open it and the case is the speaker.
Yes.
And he gave me a bunch of vinyls, like Plastic Bertrand and a lot of music, a lot, but so different. So I was playing vinyl since I was maybe 5 years old.
Wow.
But I asked my parents for going to the music school, but they said, no, you're not going to do anything with that. So when I was 14, I mean, I was involved in music all my life, but it was like myself alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But then I went into a club when I was 14 years old, and I was like, that's the thing, you know? So
Right. Who do you remember who the DJ was?
yeah, it was a local guy here in my town that later I discovered he was my cousin, but I didn't know.
Wow.
So, yeah, incredible. So I was still a kid then because I was 14. I was just finishing school here. So my life changed completely. From that day, it was a Saturday. I didn't do anything else than playing music, and then I went to the studio later. But, you know, so my first part of my childhood, I was like fighting with myself, like trying to find something that I had inside, but I didn't know what it was. You know, I tried playing drums for a little bit, but it wasn't that till I discovered the DJing. So
yeah. Now, do you remember what the DJ was playing? Was he playing like house or techno?
Oh, yeah. I remember exactly. He was playing Bam Bam, Give It To Me. And I was like, what is this? It was
That's like
cool
hard
stuff.
Chicago house, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the guy was from Miami, but I'm not sure. It was 1988, so it was the acid house was the top sound for us in that moment, you know. But I never heard it before till I went to a club, you know, because it was very underground.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that song, that moment when I stepped into the club. It was super dark, a lot of smoke and the strobe lights. That's it, and super loud, but incredibly loud. And wow, my brain was reprogrammed at the same exact moment, you know.
So you chose to be a producer first, then. So then, how did you then transition into DJing?
No, it was in the other way. So I started DJing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I was like 2 years later, when I was 16, more or less. A friend gave me a drum machine for my birthday, and I was like, wow, I can make a song now. But it didn't happen, you know. It didn't happen till 1990 something. I don't really remember, but it was so difficult. No computer, nothing at all, you know. I was in a small town it's in Barcelona, but it's still like outside the city. And well, I had no chance to go to a studio till I went to a rock studio here in my town, and I told the guy, hey, listen, I need to make music, so what can I do? He was like, okay, you can come here like a couple of days a week, and you help me set up microphones and amplifiers, and that's the only thing I can do for you. And I was like, okay, I did it, and I learned a lot about sound engineering and that stuff. But till I bought my first Apple Macintosh, maybe in 1996, then I started like making my own thing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, I was a bedroom producer for a long time.
Yeah.
I made the first tracks I made that had success. I made it with a couple of speakers and a computer, and that's it, you know. Did
your parents start to believe in you and say, okay, you can go with music? Or
no, my dad, well, I left home when I was 19 with my girlfriend. Now it's my wife, so we are together since 23 years, you know.
Wow, congratulations.
And, yeah, thank you. So my daddy, like 3 or 4 years ago, he told me, David, now I'm like calm. I know you're gonna do it. I'm like, that now? Yeah, I mean, 3 years ago, I'm DJing for 30 years now. It's like, okay, thank you, Daddy, but it's a little bit later, you know?
Yeah. I had that with my dad, too, in the beginning for a while. And then And then he came to a show and was like, "Oh, okay, I see what you
Exactly.
do now."
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Well,
remember
my
that.
dad, he doesn't really know what I'm doing. He comes to the studio and he sees me doing things and he's like, I don't know what you're doing, but I love it, you know? And I seen tears on his eyes when he came to my first show here in town. Like, it wasn't a long time ago, too. Maybe, I don't know, 7 years ago or 10, I'm not sure. So I invited him, he came, and he was like literally crying a little bit, like, wow,
Oh,
look at my son. So I'm like, okay, cool.
that's so amazing. That's so sweet. So when you started writing, were you in? You said Apple. So were you? What software was back then? Was Logic in
Yeah,
or?
well, yeah. The first things I did, it was before the Macintosh I bought. I was going to a friend's house. He had an Atari with
Oh
Cubase
yeah, yeah,
and a couple scenes, like a Cork Monopoly, a Roland 303, and I had my drum machine, and we did something, but it was like more learning than
yeah,
really practicing, you know.
yeah.
And then when I had the Macintosh, it was Logic, but I think it was like 2.6 or something like that, super old school. But it
Right.
was the first software that allowed me to put audio in it, like
Okay.
sampling.
Yeah.
So I didn't need the synthesizers that were super expensive. So I started making like in the old school hip hop way of doing music,
Right.
sampling everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And where do you feel like you find your biggest inspiration? Like you had said that you just go in and you go with what you're feeling. Is it when you sit in the studio, do you ever set an intention of what it is you're trying to create, or do you just allow it to show up, like the muse to kind of come through?
It depends on the day because I mean I go to the studio every single day. To me, it's a job. Like
Yeah.
I mean, going to the office. So I go to the studio, and I did this for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And some days I'm not inspired at all,
Hmm.
so I just send emails and do other things, you know.
Yeah.
But most of the times is when I'm on bed, like when I'm almost sleeping, you know, that moment in between walls.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I have some ideas then, and I'm lucky because I don't need to write down anything or run to the studio. I have a good memory for that. So the next day I wake up super fresh and I go to the studio with the same exact idea I had the night before. So
Really? You can
yeah, yeah,
remember it?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's
That's amazing. I can't
I I
I
know
have to either write it down or I talk in the audio thing on my
I know
phone.
I know the deal. So most of my friends, they go to the studio like running at 3 a.m. in the morning, like, "Ah, I have this in my head, but I remember it. So I guess it's what I was made to do this, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yeah.
and yeah, my musical spectrum is super wide. So I
Hmm.
can do from house to techno to pop music, and not never reggaeton, you know,
Right.
but is what I'm saying. My musical school was the radio from the 80s,
Hmm.
the vinyls I had. Then I discovered the club culture. And in 30 years, you know, I played, I think, many styles a lot. Like I also played hip hop for a while in the early 90s. I
Mm.
played house, techno, Goa trance,
Wow.
hardcore from Germany, uh, a lot of things. So that's my education, you know. So that's why I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know if it's house or if it's techno. Some DJs play my music and they are techno DJs. Some others, they are super housey DJs. They play my other songs. So I don't really care.
Right, but that's what I love about you is there is you can play into both. Some of the stuff is funkier and techier, and then some of it is like techno. And you know, when I had Tom Stefan on, we were talking about it, and I had asked him. I was like, you know, who is somebody that you really look up to musically, and he mentioned you, and we talked about you.
Wow. Wow,
And
he's like a hero to me because he's a legend.
he
So now
is.
we work together
I
now, and it's like it's unreal.
I know but we both had shared the same thing of like you have this sound that is like right in the middle of this. I don't know. It's like you balance the lines of techno and house without it being tech house. It's a weird thing. We were trying to,
I know.
but it's so good, And
It's
it's
weird,
like
but I take it as a compliment.
good.
But this is something that in some moments of my life, it was like something against me because some promoters, they are super techno or super house,
Right.
and it's more difficult like to have shows sometimes, because like they don't know where to put you. But as I said, I don't really care because I'm happy, and this is me. So I cannot be another person, So in the studio, I cannot be another producer.
Right.
And whenever it happens, I'm going to make my sound. I made this statement many years ago, and I don't know how to do it in another way, So
No, I love that. I admire that. That's how I feel as well. It's for me, some days I'm called to make something that feels a little bit more progressive, or some days I'm called to make something that's a little deeper. And it's like you can't, as an artist, the beautiful thing about electronic music is like we don't have to stay in a box if we don't want to. It's like we have the world at our fingertips. If I want to make something with a sounds like there's an orchestra in the room, we can. It's like we have that.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is that whatever you do, it have to sound like you,
Yeah,
exactly. That's it. So I hear that sometimes, like, hey, I heard the song and I knew it was you. I'm like, okay, I'm so happy to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get your own sound. That's it.
Yeah, and you have that. You definitely have a signature for sure.
Thanks.
So do you feel that that's been probably one of the biggest obstacles for you in dance music then is not sticking to one side of the fence or the other?
I think so. But it's also it's what made me be who I am.
Yeah.
So who knows me musically, they know what to expect, which is whatever, So, but I mean, I look back and I'm happy. There's some tracks I would not do right now, but those songs led me to the next one. So, you know what I mean? And yeah, if I still play some records from 11, 12 years ago, it means that I was right, But I was never looking for nothing, not looking for success, not looking for, everything just popped up in my life, Suddenly I was on tour. Then they called me to be a Space Miami resident, like things that just happened, and I wasn't like looking for that. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's like you were just walking and trusting that it would unfold.
Yeah.
How did you and Tom link up then?
Well, the truth is that I was always a fan of Tom, I was playing his songs like, I don't know, many years ago. And it was the kind of producer I was looking at because, in Spain, in that moment, it was a weird scene here. It wasn't a really techno or house scene. We had our own thing, So I didn't like that. And when I started producing, seriously, I was looking and listening to Super Chombo, Danny Tenaglia, Hernan Cattaneo, Sasha, which it's totally, completely different styles. But again, we go back to the same conversation, So I like a lot of things. And Tom was like one of the guys that I was like, damn, this sounds so unique. And then my first time in Miami and my first show ever in Miami, we shared the booth. He was playing before me. So I met him. He's super nice. It was like like super nice. That's
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah.
Again, my English barrier.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
So, and I think one day I was here in the studio, and it was like something from Tom popped up on Facebook,
Mm.
and I sent him a message like, "Hey, sorry for this, but do you think we could do a song together?" And it was like, "Totally, let's do it," and we did it. That's it. And since then, we did a lot, and we keep working together because it's super easy. We've been never together in the studio, but we work online. We send ideas. We have some days we have a chat just talking about music and life
Yeah.
in general. So yeah, that's it. It was super smooth and easy, and I'm super proud of the songs we made together. The new one we have is like, I love it because it's a unique sound. Again, it's like, it sounds like Tom and it sounds like me together. It's fantastic.
Which one is that? Tell us.
This is called, hold on. Wow.
You're
I
like,
don't,
what is it?
yeah, no, I don't remember the final name we gave to the song. Do It Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
It's with Fierce Rolling Diva again.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, it sounds good. I like it. I played it last week. I was road testing it, and the crowd was singing the melody already. And I'm like, what's
Oh,
this?
wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. So is it going to be on Hotel?
Yeah, it's going to be on HotL Records. And we're working in a couple more things, but it's too early to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It doesn't even. It's not even playable to me right now. You know?
Right, right.
But this one is a wrap.
So when did you start Hotel Records then? How did the name even come to you?
Well, that was in 2014. It was a moment where I found myself in the middle of nowhere. Like it was two scenes. One was super commercial, and the other scene was super underground techno. And it was like, damn. I mean, where I am, you know.
Yeah.
So I was sending music to labels, and labels, they only wanted, in that moment, they only wanted EDM, let's call it EDM, so
Right.
we all understand what we're talking about, or underground. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not that guy, you know? So it was a really awkward moment to me, like, wow, they don't want my music. What happened here? Okay, so I'm going to open a label, that's it. And because it was that moment when I decided like to be myself, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, I was coming from progressive house turned into EDM. I wasn't comfortable there. It wasn't my sound. So it was like, okay, David, let's do what I know the best how to do it, you know, which is this kind of tech house I do that doesn't even sound like the tech house of people.
Right.
And I opened the label and I started releasing. And then I think everything came together in place. So I kept releasing with Spinning. I started releasing with Tour Room. Cal Cox started playing my songs. I'm like, I think I did something right here, which is just to go ahead with whatever I do, you know. And I opened the label too, also to help some guys that were sending me music and nobody's listening to them. And I can understand that. Labels are too busy. Myself, I'm super busy right now, but I try to listen to every single demo. So it's a lot of producers that they have the tools now. They can do music, but they cannot release. So Hotel is a label for DJs. If there's a song I could play in my set, which is from open to close, it doesn't need to be peak time, you know.
Yeah.
So then it's Hotel. And why Hotel? Because I mostly live in an hotel, you know, all of us. It's like, it's my second home. It's your second home, I'm sure. So it's like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, no. So you talked about Tool Room because you're one that's coming from Tool Room. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
A day in the life or
Yeah, Day Live, and I have another one coming on Tour Room Tracks in March as well. And you know, it's when I go playing, basically I play hotel records stuff and Tour Room Records tracks, you know. So it's a label I really love,
Me
and
too.
yeah, and to be there, it was like a real goal to me.
Yeah. Is this your first tool room or no?
No,
When was your
no.
first tool room? Because I remember before.
Well, I work with them in some sub labels they have, like Zero Three, which
Yeah.
is
Okay.
Progressive House,
Yeah.
and I did something for Rhythm District, which is techno compilations.
Mm.
But I released on Tour Room Tracks for the first time a couple months ago
Mm.
with my partner in Hotel Records. We made the song. He came to Barcelona in summer. We went log in the studio for 3 weeks, and we made a track called "You Hear That."
Yeah.
And I
You hear
sent it to
that?
Mark. Yeah, I sent it to Mark Knight. He was like, "Yeah, I like it." So I was like, "Wow, amazing!" And then I
Yeah.
made a couple more because now I'm in that kind of, I don't know. I change my sound every 2 months, but now I'm super techy but big time tech, let's call it, and they liked it, so I'm super happy about it.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, I've. It's funny to hear you say tool room and hotel in your sets because I have that running joke with myself and my friends too. I'm like, Jesus, I play so much tool room. I play so much hotel.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I really appreciate it. And you know, the other day I was playing and I was like, wow, I have to play something that's not mine. So I was looking like I was playing demos and hotel stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but I need to play something from another producer, please. So I forced myself.
Now, do you like shorter sets or longer sets?
Longer sets.
Yeah.
But sometimes, it's a nightmare. You
Hmm.
just want to go back home because
Yeah.
it happened. I mean, it depends on the crowd, on the place, on the moon, uh, you know. So, but I really like it now. I mean, I
Where?
was doing 7 hour sets when I was a resident for 15 years. So I was playing from open to close every night, 4 nights a week. So I'm used
Wow.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think that's when I started, I used to play real 12-hour sets way back, like in the 90s.
12.
Yeah, nine to
Wow.
nine. But like that was our culture back then. It's like we
Exactly.
we were just residents, and that's what we did. It's not like it is now with so many of us playing on the same bill.
Yeah.
Where do you like to play the most in terms of it can be city, country, club, crowd? What do you get really excited about playing? Is there a place?
Uh, Lately, I'm super excited when I play in Barcelona because
Mm.
it didn't happen in maybe 20 years. And I started doing it 4 or 5 years ago. I was like scared of doing a show at home. I
Mm.
was like, not sure if somebody's gonna show up, and it was packed. And I'm like, wow, and I love it now, especially in my town. It's crazy, but now I feel like it's my crowd.
Yeah.
But I really love playing I mean, United States to me it was always the place.
Hmm.
Colombia is a crazy crowd. Colombia is amazing. Brazil used to be really good to
Yeah.
play there. Lately, they are not bringing many international DJs, so now it's a time for the resident DJs over there.
Mm.
But it's another place I like. But and clubs, Stereo Montreal, that was
Hmm.
amazing to play at Stereo, Space Miami. I played in Ibiza a lot, and I loved it. Amnesia, Bacha. I don't know because I've been in some venues which was like terrible looking from the outside, like wow, this is gonna be terrible, and then it was the best night ever, in some town lost in between the mountains. So you never know.
Yeah.
What I want and what I like is the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't care about the venue or if it's a known place or not. The crowd is the only thing that's important to me, and communication and that thing, like to feel that we are just one all together. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always said it's like give me a crowd of 100 people that are just so in it with me over a crowd of thousands any day. It's like
Wow.
that.
I hate festivals.
Mhm.
I hate it. I mean, I think it scares me playing a festival
Is it because
because
the size, the enormity of it?
not the size, but you have only 40 minutes to do
Yeah.
what? What?
Yeah.
So what I can do
You
in
pretty
40
much
minutes?
have to program. That's the only way. It's like you have an hour, 40 minutes to an hour. It's like if you don't know exactly what you're going to do, it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and festivals became this kind of playing, like everything goes super fast. But I still, when I go to a festival, I still have a playlist of 150 tracks. So I know where's the music. That's the important thing. But I keep going with the crowd. I don't, even if it's a festival, it's like I maybe play the first and the second song I have on my playlist, but then I jump to whatever it's gonna happen, So I don't really follow the playlist because I don't see the crowd going with that. You know what I mean? So we're still residents, but we are worldwide residents, I think.
Right. What freaked me out about festivals was I remember the first one I played, the enormity of the sound of the stage.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
My eyeballs were literally shaking, and it was like, this is crazy. No wonder these people only play an hour up here. You can't even stand without your whole body just like vibrating like crazy.
I know. And it's not comfortable to play like that.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
I want to be like loose and feel good and not. Yeah, I get it.
But
is there any place you haven't played that you would, like your ultimate DJ bucket list that you would love to play?
I don't know. I don't really know. You mean a venue?
A venue, or maybe with somebody, or like who would you love? Like, if you could do a back to back with somebody, anybody in the world, alive or dead, who would you choose?
Carl Cox for sure.
I know, I would say that too.
But that would be so scary, But,
oh yeah, I can imagine.
But for sure.
Yeah, it's so funny how so many of us say him. It's like God.
I think all of us. He's a
godfather.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I had the chance to meet him because he was playing a song I did for 3 years that wasn't released yet. And he was playing it for 3 years in a row at Ultra Miami, everywhere. So I was in Ibiza, and one guy told me, "Hey, David, you want to say hi to Carl?" I'm like, "No, please."
What track was it?
Hasta la Mañana.
Okay, yeah.
It was with Latin boys, and I was like, "Okay, let's do this." Yeah, let's do it. And he was super, super like easy and happy to meet me, and I'm like, wow, it was an amazing experience. He gave me a hug, so I'm like, I don't want to shower myself for a week.
I know, when I at Ultra Miami a few years ago, I was backstage. I didn't meet him, but I was behind him in the DJ booth. I was close enough to get a picture of him playing with like this massive crowd. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the closest I've ever been to him. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know the feeling. So you not even you in the picture, just him.
Not even me in the picture. No, I was enough. Yeah, and my friends were like, "Really, dude? You were that close and you couldn't ask him for a picture?" And I was like, I just felt like that Wayne's World moment. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. It's yeah, that's so awesome though to hear you say that. That would be so cool. So when you're not in the studio or DJing, what kind of things do you love to do?
I don't do much. I mean, I have like a very boring life. No, not boring. I love my life. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But I love to stay at home with my family. I love to go to the supermarket. Those normal life things, we go together to the supermarket, and it's such an experience, and I love it. And we live here by the beach. We go walk the dog to the beach, and that's it. I really love to stay at home because I've been away for a long time, and I love it. I chill in the terrace. My friends, they are spread all over the world, so I don't really have my closest friends here in town.
Right.
Of course, I have friends, but I don't go hang for a beer and watch football. I don't really like football as well.
Right.
I don't like cars. I don't like playing games. I'm super weird. Sorry.
It's okay.
So I just stay at home. We go to the beach. We chill together. I like to spend time with Mia and Tati. So
Yeah. Now you said family. Do you have children or?
yeah. I have Mia. She just turned 7 now.
Aw.
And yeah, we've been traveling. Tatiana and me, we've been traveling and living the life for a long time. And I was like, that artist feeling that you're not sure if you can provide for the family. So
Yes.
I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. And at the end, I was like, okay, let's have a kid. Let's. And yeah, we did. So.
And how did that change you? How did becoming a father change you as an artist and as that lifestyle that is kind of all over the place?
Well, it's a little bit hectic to go to school and drop hair, go back to the studio, then cook, then go back, pick hair and that stuff. But when you get used to it, it's a normal thing, So, but as an artist, I think it made me grow up. I feel like an adult artist,
Right.
Like, yeah, it changed my mind in a good way. In a good way. Maybe I'm getting older too, so it's like I'm in that moment. Like I don't care about anything,
Yeah.
So just I don't know, but it was a good experience to be a father. The first year was super scary, and I was touring a lot that time, but a lot. I mean, I was out almost every week for the first 3 years. Sorry, and Tatiana, she was taking care of the baby. She was alone a lot of time. So in some point I was like, okay, let's do it different. I can tour for 3 weeks, but then I have to stay home for 2-3 weeks, because I'm missing something here.
Yeah.
And now, to me, now life is perfect.
That's beautiful. What sorts of things do you have? Like a spiritual practice or what do you define as sacred? What's sacred in your life and in your world besides family, obviously?
I was reading a lot of metaphysics books in the 90s and early 2000s, and I was kind of Buddhist too when I was 15. Not really Buddhist, but I like that. And at the end, I discovered I have my own religion.
Yeah.
Which is not nothing to do with Catholics and nothing. It's more like metaphysics. I like it. So whatever you think, it's gonna happen in your life. You know. So
yeah. So
be careful what you think.
Right. So like law of attraction and metaphysical quantum.
Yeah, but now we call it law of attraction because there's a book. But it's, what I mean. But it's like it's a mix of a lot of things. So.
Yeah.
But every morning when I wake up, the first I do, I go to the terrace and I just give thanks for everything I have and for everything I don't have yet. So at the end, it comes to you, or if it doesn't come, it makes me happy to feel like something is about to come to my life. It's like there's a long way coming. It's still a lot of things to do, and as far as you're good with everybody and you don't hurt nobody, everything's right, so that's it.
I love hearing that because my practice is similar. It's like I don't I study a lot of personal development and a lot of religion and a lot of metaphysicals and Buddhism and all of them of what really holds sacred to me and what makes sense, and my morning is spent on meditations and giving thanks. And it's just like, yeah, it's like that moment of knowing that you are so grateful for everything that you have just puts you in such a state to know that you can attract whatever it is you're meant to have, and even what your visions are in the future. But it has to come from being grateful for what you have right now.
Exactly. And trust me that it works. I mean, it works on me. So I know for sure.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear.
Well,
you say that.
I think we all, the artists and nightlife people, we are really open-minded on everything. So also religion, so.
Yeah. Did I read something about, or did you send me something? What is this motel boutique thing? Is that you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a band I just created.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, because I was like curious of what that was, and I wanted to ask you before we break. So
I'm happy you asked me about that, because I always wanted to have a band. I was a solo artist my whole life, even if I did many collabs with a lot of artists. But it's like I was a solo guy locked in a room. So I wanted to have a band, and I love synth pop and punk rock, and that's what I'm doing with Motel Boutique. It's I don't even know how to call this, but it sounds in between Joy Division and Depeche Mode and Jean-Michel Jarre, all my other influences that I cannot use when I'm producing for David Tort, which is a DJ. So I'm just unleashing myself completely with Motel Boutique, and it makes me happy. And we are 3 guys, and we're just creating an album now. And I don't know, I have like 9 songs already, and it sounds amazing to me, at least. So let's see what happens.
I'm excited to hear. Now, are you singing, or are you somebody? What's the?
Yeah, no. There's a guy who sings, and now we have a woman. I mean, we all are around our 40s, so it's we don't have a 18 years old frontman. This is music for grown-up people.
I love it.
Yeah, and the lyrics are super hardcore. I just wrote a song called "Go Fuck Yourself." I don't know if I can say this here, but
you can absolutely.
Okay, so my new song with Motor Boutique is "Go Fuck Yourself," and I'm singing the chorus, and I think it's something I really wanted to say out loud, So all of us, we have that person you would tell that, like, hey, go fuck yourself. Yeah. So that's what I do. And I play guitar, but I don't really play really good. But as I'm a producer, I can make it sound good later, Yeah. And I just do whatever I want. It's so amazing. But I mostly write the songs and I produce them. I program because I'm putting orchestra sounds, live drummers, and things like that. But everything, it's coming from my logic,
Yeah, I love that.
But the guitars are real. Guitars, it's an instrument that it has to be played for real,
Yeah. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear it. It's like that whole especially it's like growing up with loving industrial and Front 242 and those kinds of things,
Wow. That was my band. I mean, Mid-Serep, Front 242, Panko, Alien Sex Fiend, Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah.
And then I'm producing house, So that's why I had something inside that I needed to put out. And that's the moment now.
Oh, that's awesome. I look forward to it. Well, I'll ask you one more question and then I'll let you go because I know time is precious, but I'm so grateful that you are here. So one last question is, how would you define music?
Such a question.
That's why I say it at the end.
Yeah, wow. I hate you a little bit right now.
Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. I don't know. It's something that it's necessary to live as we breathe or we eat or we drink water.
Yeah.
Music. I mean, imagine the world without music. We will be killing each other every day.
Yeah.
We do anyway,
We
you
do
know.
it,
But yeah, but to me, it's something that I have inside of me since I was born, and I need to take it out. And it's like it's two things basically. Something that I do to please the others. It's the leitmotif of my life, pleasing people. I don't know why. It's not something I love, but I do it. I cook for friends, and I love to cook for them. I play music to make people dance and go home super happy.
Yeah.
I make music I don't even listen to my tracks at home, never. So, but in the other way, it's something I need others doing it for me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I need to listen to Placebo once a day minimum. And that's a short explanation. Imagine the long explanation.
That's good. No, I'm thankful for it. Well, I really acknowledge you and as a producer, and I just love what you're doing, and I've been following you for a while, and so I'm really glad that you came on and kind of talked to us a little bit, and I look forward to what's coming, whether it's from Motel, Hotel, or anything else. I'm just excited, and I'm glad I got to get to know you a little better. Like, I feel like, yeah, there's a similarity that I get in your vibe that just feels really good to reflect upon. So I appreciate your honesty and just coming on and sharing.
Wow, I wish I could have the right English to say the same about you, but I can only say thanks for inviting me. And first of all, I'm happy you thought about me, because that's important. It's like, okay, I'm important to somebody to be on an interview, you know. So that's amazing already. But this kind of interview, I don't even know when is the interview gonna start, because to me it was like, as you said, just a conversation about music, and we have to do this with a beer next time.
Yes, I'm gonna come to Barcelona and we'll do it on the beach.
Are you going to Miami or not?
I haven't made up my mind yet. I might just go on a whim. But I wasn't planning on it, actually.
Well, if it happened, just let me know. So I'm going 7th, the hotel party, and Tom's gonna be there. A lot of friends. It's more a family party, you know. But I'm gonna be around. If you come, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, if I want to go, I'll just go for a couple of days like that, and then just come back to Denver. Yeah.
Well done. It's enough. Yeah.
So I'll link all of your information up in the show notes, and so everybody can follow you at Hotel and everything. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. It was super nice. Thank you. I appreciate.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye.
So that's it for this episode. I hope you found something inspiring with my conversation with David. I'm going to link up all of his information in the show notes. You can be connected to him on all of his socials and check out some of his music, as well as this motel boutique thing coming up. I am super curious about that. So I'm excited to check that out. But if you found something inspiring and you love this interview, please share it with your friends. Tag me in Instagram. Let me know that you liked it. Tag David, or you can reach me at podcast@remixyourworld.com and let me know. And if you love this podcast, please consider leaving a rating and review on iTunes. I would greatly appreciate it. That's it for this week. I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week. Go out, have an amazing creative week filled with lots of music, lots of love, and lots of light. Sending you so much love, joy, and creativity. Take care. Bye.